Wow. Hello. We got a new music choice today. I got it was recommended to me when I opened YouTube, and it's like free background music. So we're gonna give it a try. It's from Pico Music. Of course, it recommended me the strawberry one too. But yeah. Ugh. Do I have two Live2Ds open? I I do. What the fuck? I don't know how that happened. It's okay. Okay. So I'm gonna try to finish off this model today. Is kind of my goal. Cause like the body movement and everything is already done. It's literally just making everything else move now. Which it being a tiny little model honestly isn't gonna take as long as like a big one. And then after I'm done making all of this move, then we're gonna work on the other one. Sorry, I was trying to open up the other model and I like fucked up somehow. I'm just a little bit dummy, it's okay. Sorry, I just remembered I could have sworn somebody sent me art recently. Am I stupid? Okay. She didn't DM it to me. She put it in the server. That's right. Hey. So, let's see. Okay. So it's on the body's movement. I have the body movements down, head turns, everything, mouth and eyes, because there's not really that much to it. Um, okay. Interesting. Okay. I forgot that I was actually gonna listen to some r slash today. So it's been a long time since we listened to r slash, and I've got such a backup of shit, dude. Okay, yeah. We have like a month's worth of r slash videos we can listen to. Okay, So we'll keep the background music as something to listen to in a bit, but for right now, we're gonna listen to some r slash.
Welcome to r slash Am I the Butthole, where OP is getting a divorce over Mr. Beast. Am I the butthole
What?
for threatening to divorce my husband over Mr. Beast? I'm a 24-year-old woman, and I am seriously at my wit's end. My husband, who's 26, is partially deaf from DJing in his teens and early 20s, so he needs things louder to hear them. But what I don't get is why that has to mean that I'm involuntarily listening to Mr. Beast yelling about burying himself alive or giving away $10,000 to strangers at 9 a.m. on a Sunday. He watches Mr. Beast videos on his phone at like 100% volume. I'm not even joking. He'll put on a video while he's in the shower, phone just blasting on the bathroom counter, and I can hear it clearly from 2 floors down.
Hold on. I haven't done such short hair in a long time, so now I'm like, I need to look at what I've done here. Because now that I'm gonna change up how I do or handle hair, I definitely need to reference what I've done here too. Okay.
And it's always Mr. Beast, not different YouTubers, just him, constantly. Same loud vibe, same chaotic energy, every day. I've asked him to wear headphones, he doesn't like them. I suggested subtitles, he doesn't want to read while relaxing. I even bought a small Bluetooth speaker, thinking maybe it would help if the sound was directional or just a bit better quality. Nope. He says he prefers listening from the phone speaker. After the third time this week that I got woken up by "last to leave the circle wins $500,000" echoing through the frickin' walls, I kinda snapped and said, half joking, if I hear one more Mr. Beast video at full volume, I'm filing for divorce. Now he's sulking, saying I don't respect his hobbies or his hearing issues. But honestly, it's not just the volume, it's the content. I think it's childish. He's almost 30. Why is a grown man obsessed with videos for 14-year-olds with zero attention span? I love him, but I just want peace and quiet in my own home. I'm tired of feeling like I live inside of a YouTube thumbnail. Am I the butthole? I'm giving the boyfriend 1.5 out of 5 buttholes for being inconsiderate to his girlfriend. However, I also think OP deserves like 0.5 out of 5 buttholes because she's judging her boyfriend just because he likes a certain YouTuber. What's the big deal? What exactly should he be listening to at 26? World War II podcast? Would that make it any better if you got woken up to some guy describing the D-Day invasion for the 50,000th time? Am I the butthole for poking fun at my cousin's divorce after she insulted my wedding? I'm a 29-year-old woman, and I got married at 20. My husband and I were young, desperately in love, and super broke. I was never one to want a big wedding, so we kept it small. I'll admit, my cousin, who's 36, helped a ton with the decorations. I'm not one to be super into all that stuff. I was fine with it just looking a little plain. But she wanted to make the day special for me, and I appreciated it. I sang her praises the entire day, paid her for helping me after the fact, and literally made a speech the day of the wedding how grateful I was for her. I should also note that she got married a few months before me in an extremely lavish, extremely expensive wedding. Her wedding day was actually perfect, and everyone still talks about it. However, she got divorced 4 years ago. I'm unsure what has caused this, but now, anytime we're together, she makes fun of my wedding. She mocks how small it was. She mocks how corny the venue was. She insults my bridesmaids and my husband's family and how useless they were the day of. I normally don't react because honestly, I don't care about her opinion. However, today we were at a large Father's Day gathering with all my family. From the second she saw me, she just started ragging on my wedding to her new boyfriend. I'm not sure why, but something in my brain just flipped and I said, well, at least I'm still married. Everyone in the family is upset with me. They said I went below the belt with that comment.
Nah,
but
dude, she
absolutely
asked
no
for
one has
it.
ever checked her for insulting me over and over and over. Am I the butthole? I actually have interesting facts about this. The more you spend on a wedding, the more likely you are to get divorced. This is backed up by science. I've got the numbers. If you spend $2K to $4K on a wedding ring, you are 1.3 times more likely to get divorced than someone who spends less than $2,000 on a wedding ring. Also, if you spend over $20K on a wedding, you are 1.6 times more likely to get divorced than someone who spends less than $20K on a wedding. Still, OP, I'm on your side. You can only harass someone for so long before they eventually clap back. I'm giving you 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving your clearly jealous cousin 1.5 out of 5 buttholes. Am I the butthole for telling my husband that I already knew he cheated on me? A week and a half ago, I was on my husband's phone to order something on Amazon. There was a notification from a number I didn't recognize. I clicked on it, and there were months worth of flirty texts, inappropriate pictures, and she even asked him to come to her apartment a few times. I knew I couldn't stay with him because he was a cheater, obviously, but I couldn't break things off immediately. We have 3 kids together, a 5-year-old, a 1-year-old, and a 2-month-old, and I don't want him to get the kids because we signed a prenup because he had some money that he wanted to protect. I was scared that a judge would give him custody because he can afford to take care of them better, but the prenup had a clause where it dissolved if he's unfaithful. I wasn't going to do anything crazy. I just wanted to find a lawyer before mentioning anything to him. But yesterday, he told me about the cheating and apologized. I told him I knew about it already. He got mad at me for not telling him sooner. He told me oh my God. He told me I'm ruining our family by keeping secrets from him. Like,
Bro!
Okay, hypocrite much? But anyways, now I'm also wondering if I should forgive him since he came clean. I still want our kids to grow up normal. I don't want a broken home for them. If he was willing to tell me and to apologize, could we still make things work? Am I the butthole for not telling him I knew sooner? Will I be the butthole if I still divorce him after he told me about it?
Nah.
Yo, this guy's mad at you because you kept his secrets? Oh God, the hypocrisy almost feels worse than the cheating. But yeah, still, let's not forget, this guy was cheating on her right when OP was having birth because the text went back months and months, and OP has a 2-month-old, which means while OP was pushing out the baby, he was texting with his sweetie pie. So this is actual scum human being material. OP, you get 0 out of 5 buttholes. Divorce him. I don't think there's any coming back from this. I'm giving the hypocritical cheater 4 out of 5 buttholes. Am I the butthole for telling my father-in-law that he can't hump the floor at my house or in my presence?
What?
It's a crazy title, and I wish it weren't true, but here we are. My father-in-law, who's in his late 50s, is known for being very playful. Goofy, some would even say. Well, him, my mother-in-law, and my 3 siblings-in-law came to stay with my husband and I at our home and to see our new baby. For context, my mother and father-in-law are in their late 50s, me, my husband, and my siblings-in-laws are all in our late 20s, and our baby is 7 months old. Well, our baby was put to bed, and we were all in the living room area hanging out, doing stretches, just casually talking, when my father-in-law decided that it would be funny to start humping the ground out of nowhere.
What the fuck?
Unfortunately, it was directly in front of me, not my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law and I looked at each other in shock, while his kids all laughed and chuckled. My father-in-law made it clear that the gesture was meant for his wife, despite it being directly in front of me, with eye contact. So we dropped it. The night passed, they left town, and after a few days of not being able to shake the image in my head, I decided to talk with my husband about how uncomfortable it made me, along with all the other sexual jokes that he makes about us being married, etc. There's been this big divide now on how I'm always ruining the fun, how it was just a joke and not a sexual gesture, and how I'll always find a problem when my husband's family is in town. His family thinks this. However, when I speak with my mom, my sister, my cousins, or anyone on my side of the world, they see my father-in-law's jokes and gestures as totally inappropriate. My father-in-law tried to make the point that I've done TikTok dances in his home, and he's never felt uncomfortable because he knows they're harmless, and that it's not fair for me to judge him about this versus knowing his intent, which was to just make a joke. My point is, even though I'm not on TikTok and I don't post videos, everything I've done is able to be posted online. Him slow stroking the ground is not. My husband got mad at me for not seeing it as a joke, and so did the other married siblings who were in the room that were raised by my father-in-law. Well, that's the big risk about jokes, and being silly and goofy, is that some people will find it funny and will be totally okay with it, but every once in a while you're going to run into people who are not okay with it. And when you make a joke, you have to be willing to accept that possible consequence. You think it's funny? Great, I'm happy for you. I don't. So don't do it in my house, please. That's completely reasonable. Though, to be fair, I think this is a not funny, inappropriate joke just in general.
Yeah.
Very weird, gross behavior that I think everyone has just gotten accustomed to and they feel like it's normal, even though it's not normal. OP, you get 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving your father-in-law 1.5 out of 5 buttholes. Am I the butthole for tipping 83 cents? I went out to dinner with my wife last night. When the bill came, I gave the waitress my card. She came back shortly after, looking upset. She slapped the card down on the table and said, "Declined." I thought her tone and brevity was rude. I took out a different card from my wallet and handed it to her. While I was putting the first card in my wallet, she didn't move. I looked at her and said, "You okay?" She said, "If I go back and try to run this, are you still going to be sitting here when I get back?" I asked her if she thought that her tone was appropriate for speaking to customers. She said, "You're only a customer if you pay." I asked to speak to her manager. She left with my card. My wife said that maybe the waitress had encountered scammers before and was anxious about it. I said being rude and being cautious are two different things.
Yeah.
The waitress returned with my card and the receipt. She said, "This one worked. I'm sorry." I thanked her and took the booklet. Our bill was $91.17. I wrote in 83 cents at the tip, so $92 total. I handed it back to her and started to get up to leave. She said, "You're really not going to tip me?" I said, "No, you were rude to me." She said, "I have to tip out the bartender and the busboy. I just paid money to serve you." I said, "Well, in the future, you shouldn't be so rude." My wife thinks that I was the butthole to the waitress, and I should have given her $10 at least, because it was an honest misunderstanding. I would have given her $28.83 if she wasn't rude to me, but I don't want to pay to be insulted. Was I the butthole? For the record, I called my bank and the card was flagged for fraud because of a pending $1 charge that's often associated with fraud attempts. I resolved it. The thing I have to point out is that even by the waitress's own logic, she's still a butthole. Because if you handed her a scam card, which is what she believes, why wouldn't you leave when you give her the scam card, right? Why would you give her a scam card and then just stick around waiting to get caught with a scam card? It doesn't make any sense. Opie, I think you tipped her 83 cents too much. I'm giving you 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving her 1 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving the waitress 0.83 out of 5 buttholes. Am I the butthole for telling my mom that her husband is just the guy she cheated on my dad with? I'm a 27-year-old woman, and my parents divorced when I was 10 because my mom had an affair. How do I know? Because her affair partner turned husband was also married, and his wife showed up at our house after the affair came out, and she yelled about it all over the place. She had to be removed by the cops, and she showed up a few more times over the next 2 years. My mom blamed my dad that I found out until I was 14, and I told her I wasn't deaf and I could hear that woman outside our house, and I wasn't too young to understand what it meant. My relationship with mom was strained by her affair, and I don't give an F about her husband. He never had kids and tried to play the dad role, but I shut him out and put him in his place whenever he tried, by reminding him that I have a dad and he doesn't get to take me from dad like he took mom. And yeah, I know nobody can take another person. It was my mom's choice and her fault too. But still, it felt extra insulting to try and play parent when he helped destroy my family and my dad's marriage to my mom. My dad died when I was 19. It was a very tense time in my relationship with my mom because I didn't tell her. She found out after Dad's funeral. A part of me was glad because I didn't want her to come to the funeral, and I certainly didn't want her there with her husband. My mom was hurt and acted like I owed it to her to let them come so they could be there for me. I told her their support wasn't wanted right then, especially not after losing my dad. Even still, she believed that her husband would become the father figure I no longer had with dad gone, and they both expected he would be given father of the bride honors at my wedding. Instead, I asked my grandpa, and my mom blew a fuse when she found out. She asked me what the hell I was thinking, and her husband has been there, raising me since I was 10, and he's more to me than just some random guy. I told her she was partly right. He's just the guy she cheated on my dad with. Nothing more. My mom said that was a childish and vindictive way to describe him, and that I need to get the F over it and appreciate how hard he tried with me. She said it's like I'm trying to punish them for the affair when it had nothing to do with me. I told her this isn't a punishment, it's a consequence, and she has to live with those consequences, same way he does. She's still going crazy about me saying that I don't feel bad, but questioned if maybe I was a bit of a butthole for telling her that. So maybe? I'm not really sure if I agree with OP's mom's statement that the affair had nothing to do with OP, because if you're in a marriage with a family with kids and you cheat, then it does affect the kids almost necessarily. So she chose to betray OP's father and also OP, just the whole family unit. So she should suffer the consequences. OP, I'm on your side. You get 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving your mom 3 out of 5 buttholes.
That was r/Am I the Butthole. And if you like this content, check out my podcast where I publish the exact same episodes.
Doing in the
also,
corner?
hit that
Did you
subscribe
find
button
a
because I put out
bug?
new Reddit videos every single day.
What? Did you find a bug? Did you eat a bug? I don't know, she's just sitting in the fucking corner, just chomping away on something. Hold on. Did you find a fucking bug or something? I think she found a bug, because whatever it is gone. Ma'am, I've been up from my chair for 0.2 seconds, and you hop up in it like you own the damn thing. Now you get kisses. Now you're gonna get smothered. Don't fight it. You asked for this. She was struggling so hard that when I let her down to the ground, she couldn't actually fucking land properly. Stop getting in my chair! Oh shit. Keep trying to fucking sit down and she keeps fucking getting back into my chair. Man, that story though, my stepdad cheated on my mom like 10 years ago. So, you know, they divorced and everything, right? And actually, my mom and my dad are back together again, which is really funny. It's like 8 years now. It's great. I love it. I love having both of my parents back together again. But he tried to get me to talk to his new wife, but I was already like 18, and she was like sending me, I guess, like money or gifts or something for Christmas and my birthday, I think like the first year or two, and he tried to get me to like text her and call her and like thank her for this stuff and everything, and I'm like, I don't fucking know this woman. I'm not a child. I'm a grown ass adult. You fucking cheated on my mom for this woman. I ain't fucking touching her with a 10-foot pole, my dude. You can keep her over there. I don't care. I ain't ever gonna fucking meet this woman. Or at least I never plan to. Olive! No, ma'am. What are you you attacking over here? Child, what are you doing? Right? Why are you in my chair? Are you like fake attacking bugs so you can sit in my chair? Okay, child. Sit there. I literally have 2 chairs in here, so you can sit on the one next to me. You ain't gotta worry about my chair. There you go. Now you're all set. Your little paws and everything. Oh, shit. Hi. Hydra saying hi to me on the camera. Meow. I'm streaming. Meow. Uh-huh. Okay. Me.
The r/today I effed up, where OP makes her husband a glory hole. Today
Huh?
I effed up by making my husband a glory hole. We're remodeling our bathroom and have an insane amount of cardboard from the bathtub. My husband told me years ago, before we were married, that he had a glory hole fantasy. Well, I never ever forgot that, and I've been trying to find ways to bring this to life since then. Anyways, I decided to take one of the very large cardboard boxes
Oh.
that would entirely block off the doorway to a room and cut a hole through it and wrote on it, "Your dick here. Use me. Slut inside." Then, when he came home, I hid behind it and, did what one does. It was a huge hit, and he absolutely loved it. He couldn't believe I remembered this. So, how did I screw up, one might ask? Well, I didn't wait to make sure the remodel was complete and that we were 100% going to keep this tub. And turns out, it didn't work for our space. We then had to take this item back to the store. So, my
Oh,
father-in-law was like,
no.
"Yeah, where's the cardboard? We gotta package this back up so they'll take it back." And I'm like, "Oh no." Knowing full well that if he sees this cardboard, he will 100% know what I did. And so would all the Lowe's employees. I'm humiliated. We did successfully return the item without the intact box. Half the box was perfectly fine and in the garage still, while the other half I cut away any evidence and covered my writing with Sharpie and
Oh my
an
God.
abundance of brown packing tape. Just took a little creativity and ingenuity, LMAO. Down in the comments is a reply from Gloomy Kerlopis. I thought you were going to say that your husband had to work late and the contractor walked back in because he forgot something. I'm glad it wasn't that bad. Today I effed up by getting a large group of people to steal from Disney. My family and I went to Disney World and did the 3-day, 3-park thing. We've never been there, and this was a first large trip for a park. We started off at Animal Kingdom, and like always, Florida was hitting 90 degrees with brutal humidity. It was still 50 degrees back at home, so we were instantly melting out there. About 20 minutes into walking the park, we saw a cart sitting in the middle of the walkway with a big tub of ice water and no worker in sight. I asked my dad how we can get one, and he either joking or seriously said, "They're free with admission, just grab one." I took that at face value, ran up, and grabbed a bottle for each of us. While I was doing that, another family came up and asked how much they were. I obviously didn't know, so I just repeated what my dad said. "They're free." They started grabbing bottles too. Then, a third family saw all of us helping ourselves and grabbed bottles too. One by one, people trickled in and grabbed a bottle for themselves. 30 bottles later, and more people walk up. The cart attendant finally shows up and starts asking for money for the new family that joined the hydration heist. We were still standing nearby, enjoying our ice-cold stolen water, and quickly walked off pretending it never happened. I wouldn't worry, OP. I'm pretty sure Disney can handle this loss. Especially since the meals at Disney are like $50 for a burger or something equally stupid. Today I effed up by suplexing my cat and accidentally activating my other introverted cat's final form. So I have a cat, Charlie. He's playful, energetic, chaotic, and honestly acts like a cracked out tiger with commitment issues. He flops on my bed every night, belly up, paws in the air, looking all cuddly like he wants affection. I fall forward and rub his belly. Then he bites me like I just insulted his ancestors. Every time. So I started jokingly suplexing him onto the bed or the couch during our play sessions. And I mean gently. I fully support his back, land him on soft surfaces, and only do it when he's clearly in play mode, like chasing lasers, attacking pillows, or initiating cat jujitsu on me. It became kind of our thing. Weird bonding, but it works. Now, here's where I messed up. We have a second cat named Momo. He's the total opposite of Charlie. Introverted, stoic, basically a loaf with legs. We could pick him up, flip him upside down, and he would just blink like a sad philosopher. He never reacts to anything. One day, Charlie and Momo were napping together on the couch. Everything was calm. I, being the fool I am, decided it'd be funny to suplex Charlie mid-snuggle. He lands like a champ, as usual. But then Momo freaking snaps. This quiet little background character suddenly growls menacingly for the first time in his life, jumps up and starts beating the hell out of Charlie after he just watched his blood brother get folded. He chased Charlie down to the basement while I stood there wheezing and wondering what dark spirit I'd awakened. Today I effed up by chugging street coffee like an idiot. So I'm Vietnamese, but I've been in the US since I was 6. I just got back to Vietnam, feeling all nostalgic and stuff. I decided to grab a milk coffee from a street vendor. Looked innocent enough, big plastic cup, tasted pretty good. Big effing mistake. I drank the whole thing, every last drop. Now, I've smoked weed, I've even hit thuoc lao, which is a Vietnamese pipe tobacco. I thought that I was tough, but this coffee, this stuff was on another level. My heart started doing a freaking drum solo. My hands wouldn't stop shaking. I swear I was seeing sounds and hearing colors. It felt like I'd mainlined pure anxiety. I ended up in the hospital, looking like a total moron. Pretty sure the doctors just laughed at the Americanized kid who couldn't handle his coffee. They hooked me up to an IV and told me to chill out. Seriously, Vietnamese coffee ain't coffee. It's a freaking recreational drug. Never again. My heart's still trying to escape my chest. Vietnamese coffee is nuts. I'm in China right now, and one of my favorite things to do in China is to go to tea houses. And I drink tons and tons of tea every single day, but one of the teas I don't like is pu'er. But this time, when I went to the tea house, the person who was making the tea served this kind of pu'er that was delicious. One of the tastiest teas I've ever had. So I was chugging that stuff. And I'm not used to drinking pu'er, and so I'm not really used to the amount of caffeine in it. And if you're a tea drinker, you probably know that it is the most caffeinated of all the teas. By the end of it, I was sweating, my heart was beating fast, and I was so dizzy I had to sit down and just not move for a few hours. Like, you've probably seen jokes of like a cartoon character drinking a lot of coffee and they get all jittery and crazy. A caffeine overdose really is like that. Today I effed up by forgetting I was on an Amazon family plan for years. So I just got an email notification stating that I was removed from my Amazon family plan. I completely forgot that years ago, my sister and brother-in-law added me to their account as a teen so I could mooch free Prime from them. Upon seeing this, I started getting a panic attack because I've made many spicy purchases on there. Things I know they don't want to know about their little sister. I quickly Googled to see if there's any chance they've been privy to these purchases, and there, plain as day, it reads, yes, if you're a teen on an Amazon household account, your parents will be notified about your purchases because they need to approve them. My brethren in Christ, my sister has been approving every single purchase I've made for years. The mundane ones, the questionable ones, the impulse ones, the downright horny ones, everything. And she's never said one word about it this whole time. My last purchase was made 2 days before being notified by the email, and yes, it was a horny purchase. I'm afraid that she finally got fed up with knowing this many intimate details about my life and finally decided to end it. But maybe, just maybe, it's a coincidence? I'm too afraid to ask. Honestly, I'm not sure if I want to know. F my life. Well, look on the bright side, OP. At least your sister is a real bro. Or I guess a sis in this case.
God.
Today I effed up by trying to bring my girlfriend breakfast in bed and destroying my body instead. My girlfriend and I just moved in together, and I had the brilliant idea to wake up early last weekend and make her breakfast in bed. Real wholesome stuff. I made pancakes, scrambled eggs, and coffee. I even warmed the plates like I saw in some Gordon Ramsay video. I was proud. I got everything onto a tray and start walking up the stairs. What I didn't realize is that our cat had left one of her little rubber mouse toys right on the third step. One of those tiny bastards that looks like lint until it's under your foot. I step on it and instantly lose my footing. The tray launches. The food is airborne. I go down like a sack of wet laundry. Pancakes fly. Coffee explodes on the wall. I hit the bottom of the stairs in a twisted pile of regret and syrup. My girlfriend runs out of the bedroom like she just heard a home invasion. She finds me groaning on the floor, holding my wrist, with a pancake stuck to my back like some kind of domestic shuriken. I tell her that I think I broke something. We go to the emergency room. The x-ray confirms fractured wrist. The nurse doesn't react when I explain what happened. Just writes it down and moves on like she's heard this exact story before, which honestly makes it worse. Now my wrist is in a brace, my girlfriend has banned surprises of any kind, and the cat is still loose, presumably planning her next attack. 10 out of 10 would not recommend. Well, OP, look on the bright side. If your wrist is broken, that means your girlfriend can serve you breakfast in bed. Also, for clarity on this next post, OP is a legal adult, but the words she uses to describe certain male body parts makes her sound young. Today I effed up by pulling my boyfriend's weenie. This is not satire. I wish it was. Let me start with that. My partner is staying at my house for the week while my parents are away. We're doing the typical boyfriend-girlfriend stuff. Also, my boyfriend takes significantly longer showers than I do. He spends between 20 minutes and an hour. I typically spend 10 to 20 minutes in there. We had a shower a few days ago and I left to get dried, giving him some alone time. He likes to spend some time by himself to meditate. Little did I know, his meditation today was merely time for him to plot. Once I heard the water go off, I went to give him a towel. I took it by accident. And I admired his naked body inside of the hot water mist. Naturally, I got curious. While he was air drying, waiting for me to hand him a towel, I went up to him and played with his ding-dong. I was just hitting it off my hand while he was drying his hair. It was limp, so it was hitting off my hand quite easily, and it felt good against my palm. You know those door stoppers that people play with? That was the way that I was hitting it. Boing, boing, back and forth, up and down. Not sexually, just curious about the male body since I'm a person who was assigned female at birth. At one point, he said to me, "Squeeze and pull it." Thinking this was the beginning of some after-shower lovemaking, I did. This was a mistake. After my gentle grip had wrapped around his peepee and I tugged it a little, I heard him rip the fattest, juiciest, earth-breaking part I've ever heard in my whole life. His little trick was the equivalent of the pull my finger trick, but with a bit more spice. He was laughing his head off while I retracted myself in disgust. I left the bathroom, raging at his stupid prank while the smell of the fart lingered behind me. Well, OP, you said you were curious about what guys are like. I'd say you got a pretty good example. Because I certainly saw it coming, and I'm pretty sure every other guy who's listening to this story right now also saw that coming from a mile away.
I did not
Today
see
I
it
effed up
coming.
by being brutally honest with the couple asking me about adoption. My husband and I adopted 2 kids from foster care several years ago. We got married in our 30s, waited a few years, and tried to have a baby unsuccessfully. Then we decided that our IVF money would be better spent on a child who actually existed instead of the imaginary baby that we may or may not have been able to have. Our kids are full siblings. One is medically complex and the other is emotionally complex. Our adoption story is beautiful, but it's the Disney version of adoption through foster care. We were almost supernaturally lucky in how easy and fast everything went. I've been asked about our experience several times in the last few years, and I tell every single person that our story is not typical. It's the TV movie version of real life, and definitely should not be the only research that a couple does before taking the plunge. My mom met a woman who was dealing with infertility issues, and shared with her that I'm knowledgeable about adoption and sent her my way. So I gave her our story, the Disney spiel, and brought up some of the uglier sides of adoption to make sure that I made my point. I guess that was enough to scare her husband off of adoption. Like, period. Totally took it off the table. The woman, who I didn't know before this, is mad at me and thinks that I ruined her chances to be a mom. And my mom says that maybe I shouldn't have been quite so candid. I feel like absolute garbage. The thing is, what I told them was pretty mild. Reality is harsh, but I wasn't trying to traumatize anyone. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't misleading them. So now, I'm our tiny town's biggest butthole. OP, I wouldn't beat yourself up. If they were willing to get scared off by one story from a woman who seems like a sweet lady, to be honest, then I would say that couple isn't really cut out for adoption. That was r/today I effed up, and if you like this, welcome to r/best of Redditor updates, where a lady goes kinda crazy and thinks that she's this guy's wife. Our next Reddit post is from Angry Widow. My husband, Jonah, passed away unexpectedly a month ago from a stroke. It's the worst pain I've ever felt in my entire life, and I'm still not sure how I'm ever going to move on. We were married for 5 years, together for 7. The past 2 years we've been trying for a baby, but we're just getting to the point of considering IVF when he died. Jonah had a close friend in high school named Marjorie. Marjorie also ended up going to the same university as he did, and they spent a lot of time together during those college years. Jonah said that he liked Marjorie's company, but never felt anything beyond friendship with her, which I totally believe. Jonah dated other women during that period, but also told me that several times Marjorie hinted that she wanted him to ask her out. She also joked about wanting him to be her plan B in case she didn't meet someone and get married by 30. By the time I'd started dating Jonah, he had moved a couple hours away from his hometown, and Marjorie. Despite this, Marjorie immediately began finding excuses to come to our town and hang out, which usually involved her encouraging us to go drinking and then her passing out on the couch at Jonah's apartment. I didn't mind her for the most part, but she had a habit of saying things like, "You know, you ruined our marriage pact, ha 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 ha," and pointing out all the things that she knew about him. like what he took in his coffee, his favorite bands, etc. Over the course of our relationship, and especially after we got married, Jonah definitely put some distance into his relationship with Marjorie. He confided in me that he felt he'd outgrown her and that they really had little in common anymore. He stopped responding to her invitations to hang out as often, though he would occasionally call up to catch up out of guilt, especially when she would text him or leave messages saying she was so sad he was ignoring her and the like. But now he's gone. I had him cremated like he wanted. We haven't done the memorial service yet. It was too hard for me to even imagine the first couple of weeks. And I also wanted to give time for some out-of-state people to make travel plans. The memorial is this weekend. However, 2 weeks ago, I received an email from Marjorie, which was sent to around 60 people, including Jonah's family, saying that she was holding a memorial service for Jonah in the town where they grew up, the day before his memorial here. I was completely blown away, seeing as she hadn't mentioned anything to me or even attempted to call. Along with the details, the email said that she was planning the memorial in light of the fact that no other service has yet been held in his memory, and he deserves to be laid to rest with honor. For the record, she was invited to the memorial, which I've been planning, and she knew that it was happening. I called her, of course, and told her that while I appreciated her willingness to help with Jonah's goodbye, I was already planning a service for him that would involve all of his friends and family. She immediately went on the defensive and said that she had only started to plan a service when she realized I wasn't willing to do it in a timely manner. I told her that the timing wasn't her choice to make.
Yeah,
but that if she wanted to have a memorial of some kind, to please just add on the invitation that his official memorial was going to be held this weekend. She said fine. I sent a message to all of Jonah's invited friends and family to make sure they knew the real service with both of our families was going to be here, and then just washed my hands of the whole thing. This week, I received a message on Facebook from Jonah's cousin saying that Marjorie, who has apparently blocked me on Facebook, created an event for Jonah's official memorial service, her memorial, and invited everyone she possibly could. I've been getting blown up with emails asking which day the memorial is and where. I'm honestly furious. I don't have the emotional energy to deal with this. I ended up putting a post up on my wall, reiterated the date of his service, and asking people to please share it. Thankfully, I think the older members of the family don't use Facebook or email very often, so most of them haven't been confused. But a lot of people now think that Marjorie's service is the real one. I called Marjorie again, asking her to add an addendum to her event saying that his actual memorial was going to be here. She told me, Jonah would have wanted it this way, and if you couldn't appreciate my efforts, you're not invited to say goodbye to Jonah. I told her that was fine, seeing as I'd already said goodbye to Jonah when I held him as he died. She hung up. Apparently, she's now spreading information to her mutual friends with Jonah, saying that he was planning on leaving me because I wasn't able to conceive. She also said that we had approached her to carry a baby for us. All absolute lies. His cousin sent me a screenshot of a text where Marjorie said that Jonah always thought that we would have the cutest baby together, and OP doesn't understand how much he wanted children. I'm at a loss of what to do. I don't care what she says about me, but she's now tarnishing my husband's memory, especially saying that he wanted to divorce. Jonah would never have left me, and anyone who knows him at all knows that we were committed to each other above all else. I need to figure out how to tell this woman to F off without encouraging her to spread more lies. And I also want to just forget the whole thing and crawl in bed and never get up again. Help me, please. Then, 2 days later, OP posted an update. I took the advice of the majority of comments and called the chapel where Marjorie was planning her...
123 just followed.
Hi, Sir... It read it. Did it say Sir's Hawks? Sir Hawks?
I spoke to the pastor.
Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. If you're gonna lurk, by all means, Sir Honk. Okay, yes. Hello. Welcome in, Sir Honk. We're just vibing, working on Live2D rigging and listening to some r/videos.
Who immediately told me that he'd been trying to get in touch with me regarding the service. Apparently, both Jonah and Marjorie had grown up in that church. I'm not religious, and neither was Jonah as an adult.
It is fun. It really is. I've been like rigging for like going on 4 years now. I like changed up just recently how I handle hair too. So I'm like really happy with how everything's like looking for that. Especially, I'm trying to finish off that small model that I'm working on, but I've also got this one. I've got only one side on it right now. That's why the body looks like really stiff, but yeah. So with the free version, is there like a permanent free version or is it still like the trial version? Oh, hi Olive. So silly. Hello, ma'am. I love when you like pet cats and you like push the top of their head back when you're petting them and their mouths just open slightly. Little baby. Little baby. A free trial version. Yeah. There's a permanent free version? Oh shit, that's right. There is a permanent free version. There's a lot. You can't do a lot. Like you have like a set amount of like parameters and stuff that you can make. I've gotten to a point where I need as many parameters like as possible for stuff. So that's all just the head portion right here. I still have to work on all of the like actual like body down here. Actually, let me move that down. Yeah. It gets harder when you're like bound by a set amount of parameters. I gotta go to the bathroom really quick. I'll fuck. 1 second. Okay. I made it out alive. I lived. Okay. Yeah. I rigged the little model as well that I'm using right now. My girlfriend made the art for it. I am a kitsune currently trapped in a tiny body right now. I'm trapped as a tiny fox until my debut. I'm just a little guy. And this blackberry Dr. Pepper is bopping. Thank you.
My voicemail's been flooded, and it's definitely possible that I overlooked his call. He immediately expressed how sorry he was to hear of Jonah's loss, and said that he had received my contact info from Jonah's great aunt who still attends here. He said he was surprised when Marjorie asked to have a service for Jonah, but she had claimed that Jonah and I were separated and I didn't want to be involved. He had been trying to follow up with me, but obviously that didn't happen. He was very apologetic and said that he would cancel the service, or move forward in any way that felt right to me. He said he knew that the church members would appreciate the service, since many of them remembered Jonah as a boy, but obviously Marjorie would no longer have a role. I agreed that the service could go forward. He called to speak with Marjorie after our conversation, and informed her that she was no longer welcome to participate in the organization of the service after her behavior. He wouldn't tell me all what she said, but said that she was distraught, and he recommended some mental health and spiritual services to her that he hopes she accepts. She apparently apologized for lying and asked to speak with me, but I declined. I feel bad if she's truly contrite, but I just have too much on my plate right now. We had 2 beautiful services for my husband. First one at his hometown church, and then the non-religious one that I planned. Everyone that came wanted to honor Jonah, and that's all that really matters. I was told dozens of stories about him that I'd never heard before, and I laughed so hard I cried, then cried some more. My cousin was on the lookout for Marjorie, and I honestly didn't think about her the whole weekend. She turned up for the first service, and the pastor ended up speaking with her, unbeknownst to me. My cousin says that he was sympathetic but firm, and told her that her presence there would be inappropriate. Surprisingly, she left without a fuss. Then, 4 months later, OP posted an update. Marjorie still hasn't disappeared. I deleted my social media a couple of months ago in an attempt to simplify my life. But my cousin, who also knows Marjorie, let me know that Marjorie has been recently posting photos of herself on Facebook with Jonah. Some were from several years ago, but she was saying things like, "I still miss my man every day." Jesus, I can't wait until Jonah's baby arrives. She's apparently pregnant and claiming that the baby is my husband's. She's also photoshopped his face onto several photos. Some of them onto another shirtless male posing semi-suggestively with her. The photoshopping is pretty good, but it's obviously not my husband's body. People have been saying things like, "Congratulations, we know you'll be a great mother to Jonah's child." Nobody I knew, thankfully. It honestly made me feel sick, and I went and laid in bed pretty much all day. I hate that she's getting to me like this, but I can't stand the thought that she's claiming my husband was unfaithful to me and that people are believing it. One bright note is Marjorie's brother, who also knew Jonah. On one of her recent posts, he commented, "WTF, Marjorie? I spoke to Jonah like 2 weeks before he died, and he said he was trying for a baby with OP. You guys were just friends. This is messed up and you know it." The post was deleted a couple of hours later. I don't know what to do anymore. I don't have the energy to battle with this woman, but I'm infuriated and hurt by the blatant disrespectful pack of lies she's spreading. My cousin called her and asked that she remove the photos, but she apparently said, "OP can go to hell. She just doesn't want to accept that Jonah wanted a baby with me more and she couldn't give him one." I'm lost, guys. What can I do about this?
Jesus
It seems like all I
Christ.
can do is sit and watch this crazy woman trying to convince Jonah's friends and family that he never loved me. Then, 2 weeks later, OP posted an update. Marjorie's brother became very concerned after speaking to me, and apparently questioned Marjorie extensively about her behavior. She continued to claim that she was pregnant with Jonah's baby, and that they had a lengthy affair, but the details didn't add up. She said they were meeting at a hotel at lunchtime 3 days a week, but he knew that Jonah came home for lunch with me every day. Stuff like that. He went home late that night to sleep on it. After he went home, Marjorie came over to see me at 3 a.m. She
Oh,
started
shit.
screaming at me to come outside, saying I'd ruined her relationship with Jonah and how happy they were before me, etc. I called the police and her brother, who both arrived the same time. She pushed the police officer, who tried to ask her what was going on, and was immediately arrested. I felt bad for her brother, but he just apologized to me repeatedly. Marjorie yelled expletives and tried to demand special treatment because the police were apparently hurting her baby by keeping her in the car. I gave a statement and they left. Not exactly sure what happened after, but her brother says that she's now under psychiatric evaluation and is
Yeah,
apparently
Jesus.
struggling with a mental disorder that he wouldn't name. She's apparently not taking her medication in 2 years. I didn't ask for details, but
Oh,
it
shit.
seems she's going to get some help. I'm not pressing any sort of charges. Her brother also linked me to his posts on social media, where he made it very clear that Marjorie has been having some difficulties, and absolutely none of what she said about Jonah is true. I'm glad this seems to be over, but I've decided I need a fresh start no matter what. I'm looking for a job out of state, and I'll be doing my best to leave my life with Jonah behind. You know, as toxic as Marjorie is in this story, the silver lining is that everyone else in the story is exemplary. OP's cousin blocking Marjorie at the wedding, the priest having OP's back, Marjorie's brother stepping in to control Marjorie and help out OP. OP just had tons of support from everyone around her, which is kind of rare in these stories. Typically everyone sucks in Reddit stories.
Yeah.
Our next Reddit post is from r/amIthebutthole. Almost every Friday, my coworkers and I will go out to get drinks and socialize. More often than not, it's an open invitation for the entire office, and even people outside of our team will join. We typically have a great time, but only when Logan, a 20-year-old guy, doesn't show. Logan means well, but is easily excitable and engages people in conversations they're not interested in. The worst of this behavior has to do with spoiling movies, shows, games, etc. A few weeks ago, I mentioned that I had tickets to see the Mortal Kombat movie over the weekend. Logan lit up and immediately responded, "You'll love the scene where spoiler happens and when spoiler shows up." I was bummed and walked away without continuing the conversation. Later that night, Amy, another coworker, was discussing a TV show that she was a few episodes behind in. Logan blurts out, "I can't believe that such and such dies in episode whatever." Amy, who had obviously not yet watched it, went silent and turned away. Logan laughed and said, "I just can't help it. I get too excited." None of us were amused. A few days later, in our team-only group chat, someone brought up Logan's tendency to spoil things and admitted that they wished he weren't invited to outings because of it. Multiple people agreed and began to list everything Logan had spoiled for them. With this in mind, I did not add Logan to the email invite for the next week's hangout. He noticed he never got an invite and began to ask around. Since I was the one who'd written the email, he was eventually directed to me. He pulled me aside as I left for lunch and let me know I excluded him by mistake. Rather than try to play it off, I just told him the truth. That the fact that he spoils everything is obnoxious and rude. I told him that joining conversations just to spoil things is bad enough, but he also starts conversations with spoilers. Logan was immediately defensive, claiming it's not his fault that we're slow to watch or play or whatever, and he's just making conversation. I told him that if he swore he'd be more conscious about this habit, that he could join us that Friday. He came and, lo and behold, spoiled the plot of a movie that I wanted to see in theaters. Out of frustration, I called him a dick and told him this is exactly why no one socializes with him. He left soon after, and even though I said what everyone was thinking, I felt like a butthole. Then OP posted an edit. A few weeks ago, we had lunch catered and all joined in the break room. A coworker had brought a book to read during lunch, and Logan saw the cover, pulled up Wikipedia, and read the entire synopsis aloud, including the big twist ending. I asked him why he would do that, and he responded, "Why not?" Then, 5 days later, OP posted an update. "Your responses had me curious, so I tested something out. Last night, our office went out for drinks again and Logan showed up. At one point, when I knew he was listening, I mentioned a movie that I really wanted to see. I gave the title and named some actors that were in it and left it at that. Logan didn't say anything immediately, but pulled out his phone a few minutes later. The rest of the night went smoothly until I was about to head home. Logan flagged me down and asked me to repeat the movie title I'd mentioned. I repeated the title that I'd given earlier, and Logan got upset. He told me that movie didn't exist. He's right. I made it up. He called me annoying and a killjoy and said that spoilers shouldn't matter if you're just going to watch something anyways. He told me to get over the fact that he likes sharing major plot points and claimed that I ruined his night. And so, as many of you concluded, Logan is just a jerk who enjoys spoiling things. Part of me hopes he spent his entire evening searching for a movie that doesn't exist. Part of me feels bad that he feels that's something he needs to do for whatever reason. Pulling a prank on him might have made me kind of a butthole too, but to be honest, I think
He
it was worth
deserved
it.
it.
What a weird, dumb hobby. Someone in the comments called this guy a vindictive loser, which sounds pretty accurate. That was r/best of Redditor updates, and if you like this content, check out my podcast where I publish the exact same episodes. Also, hit that subscribe button because I put out new Reddit videos. Welcome to r/Am I the Butthole, where OP is apparently having an affair with her father. Am I the butthole for getting a new nurse fired
Her
for accusing me of having an affair with my father? I'm a hospital social worker at a small hospital. My dad is one of the emergency room day shift charge nurses. A few weeks ago, I was in the emergency room trying to figure out placement for an elderly patient. When I was leaving, I had a chat with my dad in the hallway. Before I left, he gave me a hug and told me not to be late for dinner. I joked about how I'm going to order the most expensive steak on the menu since it's his turn to pay. I'm a 27-year-old woman, my dad is 51. There was a new nurse at the nurse's station nearby. Pretty much everyone knows that he's my dad. I hadn't spoken with this new nurse much though, and she didn't know. Apparently, she thought my dad and I were having an affair based off what she heard and saw. She knew my dad's married to my mom, who brings him lunch sometimes. She immediately began gossiping to some of the other staff that my dad was having an affair with the social worker, aka me. One older nurse that I've known for a long time immediately came to tell me. I don't think she liked this new nurse very much. I guess no one decided to tell her that he's my dad. I hate gossipers. I don't know what it is about nurses, but I swear to God, some of them really love to spread rumors. I decided to not take it up with her, and I just went straight to HR. We were both asked to come to HR after our shift was over, along with my dad. Now, the HR lady knows that he's my father. When the new nurse came in, she was asked to explain, and she said she thinks it's terrible that we would so blatantly have an affair. And she was shocked because she thought that my dad seemed like a nice guy. My dad then decided to speak up and explain that I'm his child. The new nurse was mortified and apologized profusely. The HR lady asked me and my dad to leave. They had a meeting with the unit manager, and it was decided that the new nurse would be fired immediately because she was still in her 90-day probationary period.
Damn.
My mom thinks that I'm a jerk, and I should have just brought it up to the nurse instead of bringing it to HR when I knew she would probably get fired. I think my mom is
That's
also
her
sympathetic
fault.
because she stalked the woman's Facebook and she's like a single mom or whatever. I think I was right to get her fired because the hospital doesn't need a bunch of nurses sitting on their butts gossiping instead of doing their jobs.
Yeah.
My dad is embarrassed and feels awkward about the whole thing. It's not the first time someone had thought that I was dating my dad. We aren't weird or anything, but it happens. Am I the butthole? So she talks to people behind your back, and that's fine. But if you talk to HR behind the lady's back, that makes you a butthole? Nah, it doesn't work that way. OP, you're perfectly justified. What she did was unprofessional. While I can't blame her for making the mistake, mistakes like that happen, it is definitely wrong to gossip about it with a bunch of strangers. OP, you get 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving that nurse 1.5 out of 5 buttholes. Am I the butthole for taking away my dad's girlfriend's keys after she tried to send me to bed? I'm a 21-year-old woman, and I have 4 siblings, a 26-year-old brother, a 23-year-old brother, a 12-year-old sister, and a 10-year-old brother. Our uncle has been our legal guardian since our mom passed away, and my dad has been out of our lives. My 23-year-old brother and I are home for the summer from college. My oldest brother lives in the city. Since we've come home, my uncle's been away on a work trip, so it's just been me and my siblings around the house. My dad used to be a problem drinker and was basically estranged for half of my life. Very limited contact, and growing up, it's always been my siblings and I taking care of each other. For the past year or so, my dad has been wanting to reconnect with us, mainly my younger siblings. He's been getting better in his habits. He was clean for 3 years and managed to keep his act together. Because of this, we've allowed him a couple of visits from time to time. 4 months ago, he started seeing this new woman, quite a bit younger than him, in her 30s, and she seems to have this strange obsession with playing mom. She visits way more frequently than he does, and seems to be under the impression that she's our new stepmom. I think it's kind of weird, but we just let her do her thing since she's not harming anyone. She does have this patronizing way of addressing us. It's better with my older brothers, but with me it gets a little ridiculous sometimes. Again, I just ignore it and go about my own business. A few weeks before my brother and I came home, she was helping my uncle pick up our younger siblings from school and driving them home. Because of that, she was given a key to the house. Since then, she's around all the time, just playing parent to my younger siblings, but not really doing much because my older brothers and I take care of their responsibilities. In short, the situation started when we had her and my dad over for dinner. My brothers cooked a great meal, and it was all going good until my dad ended up making a very insensitive and inappropriate joke during dinner. And his girlfriend corroborated that joke by making a really ugly insinuation about our late mother. I'm not going to get into it. We saw them out, and that was that. We put the kids to bed and kind of talked about what happened and informed our uncle about the situation. We're all unsure of what to do. The next afternoon, both my brothers were busy with work and I picked up the kids from school. And I got home to my dad's girlfriend in our kitchen. This was the first time she let herself in when nobody was home, and it caught me kind of off guard. She had basically come to apologize on my dad's behalf. She said that he felt so ashamed he couldn't bear coming here. I sent the kids to their rooms and explained the situation to her. I also communicated to her that I found her comment to be extremely inappropriate and in poor taste. She started laughing it off, but I was clear with her that we wouldn't tolerate anything like that again. Then she said something like, "Aw, it's so cute that you're trying to be their mom." I kind of just blinked at her. The remainder of that conversation, she had the same attitude, just not taking me seriously and treating me patronizingly. Naturally, I got fed up and got started on dinner. I don't know where she went for the next while. I think she went into the kids' rooms to help them with their homework, but she stuck around for the rest of the night. Out of the kindness of my heart, I cooked extra food for her even though she didn't ask for permission to stay, and lo and behold, she stayed for dinner. Later on in the same night, she was fawning over the kids again, and around 10, in her stepmom manner, she was like, "Okay, my dears, it's time for bed." My younger siblings were in the living room watching TV. They're usually pretty disciplined at going to bed themselves. At this, my siblings looked over to me, gave me the look like, "What is this lady doing?" And I just shrugged and they went off to their rooms because it was close to their usual bedtimes anyway. So I'm in the kitchen cleaning up. My dad's girlfriend is on her phone at the island. She looks up to me and says, "You too, hun?" It crosses my mind that she could have been joking, but I devise after a moment that this was not a joke and that she was, in fact, sending me to bed. So naturally I say, "What?" She says, "It's getting late, time for bed," and kind of at me. To remind you guys, I'm 21 years old.
what?
I go to college and I'm working almost full time in the summer. I've been taking care of my family since I was 12. This woman's been dating my estranged father for barely half a year. So I give her the benefit of the doubt that she clearly has some mental issues and is a little crazy. I tell her I think it's time that she went home. She's insistent that I go to bed and is still acting like my mom. This gets me a little ticked off. I explained to her that I feel disrespected being talked to like that and that I'm an adult. And as an extension to our previous conversation, I need her to take me seriously because I don't joke around about my family or my siblings, and she's on thin ice. She continues to laugh me off and goes on in a super patronizing tone. Again, she uses the phrase, "It's so cute when teenagers try to act like adults." Then she threw in some stuff
She's
about
20.
me having a hissy fit and being rebellious. At
She's
this
in her
point, I'm
20s,
just so
what?
fed up by everything and simply say, You have 5 minutes to get your things and leave the house. In response, she scoffs and gets up and walks off to the bathroom. And on the way, I hear her say something along the lines of, "No wonder your father says you're a frigid little priss." When she's in the bathroom, I go over to her handbag and her keys on the couch. She has a gigantic key ring and a ton of keys, so knowing she won't notice, I remove our house key from the ring. Then I go back to my room and hear her leave maybe 20 minutes later. The next day, I get a bunch of texts from her panicking about the key. I told her I took it. She said some stuff, called me a brat, saying that she was going to tell my uncle and brothers and that I was being childish. I told her I was at work, and if she wanted to talk, she could call me at 4. Otherwise, she could go bother my brothers about it, but they were at work too, so good luck with that. She went off again with the "stop pretending to be an adult" thing, and said that my younger
Girl,
siblings were like her kids, and she needed to take care of them, and that this was unsafe. This was the last text that I sent her. This is the last time I'll say this. You've been disrespectful of me and my brother since we met, and you've dismissed my attempts to communicate with you. I'm no longer investing energy into enduring your behavior. I'm going to be honest, there's very little chance that you're going to get that key back. This is not helping those chances. Like I said, at 4 p.m. you can call. She yapped some more, then blew up my brother's phone and texted my uncle as well. I'm writing this as this is occurring. I told my brothers a bit about what happened when she came over, but they don't know the full story. My uncle is also in the dark about this, but I'll tell them what happened if I need to. OP, you're 21, a legal adult? I don't know why she seemed to think that you're an incompetent teenager. This seems to be not really about love or safety or togetherness, it's just about control. She gets off controlling you. OP, I'm giving you 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving her 1.5 out of 5 buttholes. Am I the butthole for shutting someone down when they tried to talk to me at the gym? So for context, I'm a 32-year-old woman, and I don't talk to anyone at my gym outside of saying hi and bye to the people who work there, and having polite etiquette when asking someone if they're using something and saying thank you when they're done. This is partially for efficiency, but mostly because I go to the gym stoned out of my mind, and I'm in my zone and don't want to talk to anyone. Last week, after my workout, I walked over to the food carts by my gym to pick up some tacos. While I was there, some 40-year-old plus guy stopped me and said that he went to the same gym. I'd never noticed him before.
Ads over? Hell yeah. Okay. I restarted the new story so you can hear it.
Buttholes. Am I the butthole for shutting someone down when they tried to talk to me at the gym? So for context, I'm a 32-year-old woman, and I don't talk to anyone at my gym outside of saying hi and bye to the people who work there, and having polite etiquette when asking someone if they're using something and saying thank you when they're done. This is partially for efficiency, but mostly because I go to the gym stoned out of my mind, and I'm in my zone and don't want to talk to anyone. Last week, after my workout, I walked over to the food carts by my gym to pick up some tacos. While I was there, some 40-year-old plus guy stopped me and said that he went to the same gym. I'd never noticed him before, but he insisted on walking with me and was talking to me. I was kind of annoyed. Just because you see me on the street with my headphones out doesn't mean it's an invitation to talk to me. I made small talk and tried to be polite. Get out as quick as I could. So the other day, when I'm at the gym foam rolling out with my headphones in, this guy just beelines to me while I'm trying to avoid eye contact, and squats down next to me and says hi and gives me a fist bump. I give him a quick heads up to acknowledge him, but ignore the fist bump. I avoid eye contact the rest of the time I'm there. And then today, this guy comes into the gym and sees me. I immediately avoid eye contact and he doesn't come up to me, so I think he gets the picture. But then, when I'm doing leg lifts, he comes over and tries to give me a fist bump. So I take out my headphones and say, look, man, I don't want to do this. I'm here to work out. I'm not here to make friends. I don't want to talk to you, okay? And he starts to say, I was just saying hi. And I respond with, yeah, I get it. Please don't. And I put my headphones back in and kept working out. Then OP posted an update. I went to the gym today and had one of the best workouts I've had in a long time. Partly because I was fueled by the overwhelming support that I received from people who understood the importance of asserting boundaries. So thank you to everyone who saw where I was coming from. For anyone who thinks that I'm the butthole, I can live with that. But before I go, I want to share something that happened to me a couple of months ago. Maybe it'll give you something to chew on. I was at the same gym in the middle of isolated bicep curls. I was at the end of the rep, the second to last set to failure. I was slowing the movement, fully concentrated, eyes closed. When I opened my eyes, a stranger's face was 3 inches from mine. Startled, I set the weight down and looked over to see a plump, middle-aged man in a baseball cap. I took out one of my headphones, still in shock, and all I could say was, "What the F?" He then grabbed my arms and forced them back onto the machine's handles, saying, "One more." I pulled away and snapped. "Who the F do you think you are?" His face fell as he muttered, "I was just admiring your work." I told him, "I'm in the middle of an effing set." He got defensive, saying, "Actually, I wanted to use that." I replied, "You can use it when I'm not in the middle of a set." He rolled his eyes and walked off. I was left shaking. As I started to put my headphones back in, another man approached and waved. I took it back out and he said, "You really shouldn't have to put up with that." I smiled and said thanks. He walked away and I got back to my set. So at first in this story, I thought that the guy who was trying to talk to OP wasn't that bad. You know, approaching someone outside of the gym at a taco truck and just saying like, "Hey, hi, we go to the same gym, what's up?" I don't think that's really a big deal, and OP seemed to make it seem like it was a big deal. However, he should have picked up the clue, right? OP was being very obvious. She was not being flirty and friendly. This was a "don't talk to me" message that the guy was not picking up. So if the guy doesn't figure out what you're trying to say, then you have to be more direct, right? So I'm giving OP 0 out of 5 buttholes. Am I the butthole for telling my friend that she's in the same league as men she calls ugly? My friend, a 19-year-old woman, downloaded dating apps like Tinder and Hinge for the first time about a week ago. For reference, she's the type of girl who says she always wants a boyfriend, wants to do couple things, feels lonely when she's single, etc. She's also, in my opinion at least, very normal and average looks-wise. Not ugly, not super hot, just alright. Since then, she's been complaining to me that almost all the men on there are ugly, short, etc., and that she doesn't match with anybody hot. I asked to see which people she was calling.
Ah! Kira! Hello! Holy shit! Hi, Kira! Oh shit.
As Helen just followed.
Let me do the proper fucking shout out. Hi! Hello! Thank you for the follow. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for the
Master Mikey
follow.
Fat just followed.
Hi! Hello! Welcome in. Thank you for trusting me with your community. Hello. We're working on a model today. There's a lot more people. Kara's a really good friend of mine. She is a, what is it? A fallen unicorn. I wanted to say angel, not angel. Unicorn.
Luscos11 just followed.
Hi, I'm good. How are y'all? It's going good. I'm hoping to finish this model actually today.
Cuddle sub just
we're
followed.
working on all of the like moving of the hair and stuff and everything. Yeah, Kira's a really cool person. She's super fucking sweet. She does like ASMR streams and everything. She's really cool. I love hanging out with her. But hi, I'm Juniper. I am a Queen of the Night flower kitsune, and I am currently trapped as a tiny fox in this little body until my proper debut. She is the best unicorn. Thank you. This is my friend Viv's. What do you call it? Oh, hold on. My girlfriend's calling me. Against my... Chat. My girlfriend just got off of work too, so she's heading home right now. I'm not gonna ignore you at home. No. No. Yeah. Yeah, you stayed up super late today. Yeah. she's gonna listen to music for the rest of the ride home. Hello. I am sweet. Mostly. I'm more ditzy, honestly. Like, if we're playing games, you'll see. I do have a lot of people watching. I'm under pressure now. gotta make sure that I'm entertaining, you know. Under pressure. Ew. I'm trying to get the... I might have to... Oh, you're good. I know we actually live together. We've lived together almost like 3 years now, but she likes to call me on her way home from work. Okay, we're gonna go over here. We're gonna add on the dangle bounce. I feel like it's not moving, and it's driving me crazy. Thank you. Why isn't it moving? I need... Oh, that's why. I deleted the fucking body Y instead of Z on here. That's why it was definitely not freaking moving. There we go. I'm like miffed. I'm like, why isn't it working? Why aren't the dangles wiggling like they should when I move like a certain way? It's because I fucked up. I messed up. That was me. I did that. It's okay. There we go. Now the scarf is moving. Probably scale back the... Yeah! Yippee! Tommy. It's not you. That's Olive. I think it's fine. Olive. I don't know where the crackhead is. good? Take a sleep if you need to, my guy. I do. I think I did make this work. I did. Okay, so then I need... Hell yeah, welcome in. This isn't my usual type of background music. This was recommended to me by YouTube. I like how it sounds, but I'm not sure how I feel about it as like a long-term listen, because I think it's a single song on repeat for an hour. Okay. Oh. Thank you. I appreciate the compliment. And I'm glad that it sounds like I am a good fit for Kira. She's been really sweet to interact with. We've been having like just little like calls and stuff lately. Just general hanging out. And it's so fun because I've been wanting like a VTuber friend in the sphere that like we can just call and talk and just even like just play games together and have like a good time. It's been really fun, really nice. I'm glad I got introduced to her. The funny thing about rigging while listening to music is when moving stuff, it's like I want to make everything dance to it. So that's why you keep seeing it kind of like wiggle back and forth. That's me bopping to the music. Sometimes you just you gotta put a little wiggle in it. What kind of model are you rigging? I know you mentioned it earlier. Like what are you? Or is it like for yourself? Yeah. I mean, hey, everybody starts somewhere. You don't have to be like this amazing, fantastical artist to still make something good. As long as you're happy with what you make. That's such a mood. I am definitely to the point with model making that I like rigging the models more than I like drawing them. So like I felt that so hard. Isami. Oh shit. It's okay. Easy peasy fix. it's fine. Okay. It's specifically this one. Let's see how it's looking so far. It needs more movement. I just realized, I think the more you add to the pendulum, the more like the bottom of it will kind of act like a weight, because then it still has all of these that also move, even if they're not attached to something. Interesting. Okay. Oh, I don't need these to be separate. I'm silly. It's okay. Meow. 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 I had to look up what you put in the chat. It's a fucking TikTok sound. Wow. Yeah? Uh-huh. What are you hearing on TikTok?
That's all.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah?
She has no idea what I'm talking
I
about.
have no fucking clue what you're talking about.
It's from one of the people you listen to.
That's my girlfriend. You could. I don't know what the fuck you're. Oh, Jesus Christ, woman.
Hit that note, baby.
You're hitting something. Sir Honk says hello.
I
Bitch. What are you doing? Okay. You just slapped the shit out of my stomach for some reason. She is very chaotic. She's a little crazy. A little bit. Just a little bit. She is very loud. If I ever need it, like, whenever, like, we're playing games, she's definitely, like, the comedic factor for it, because she's just, she cray-cray. But that's okay. I still love her. It's funny, because I thought that I was going to be the crazy one in the relationship when we first started, like, dating. And she has proved me so wrong. So very wrong. I think she's watering the plants right now. I hear water. Comes in here all crazy like just to go outside and water plants really quietly. God damn it. I keep pressing the buttons on my tablet pen. Hi.
Mine my life into pieces. This is my diamond sword.
Uh-huh. Hi, Olive. Uh-huh.
All I mine is diamond.
God, she's trying so hard to get away from you right now. Being crab raped as the cat struggles beside me. Look at the little guy. Oh God, she's so wiggly. Oh. Hello, ma'am. Oh, that was probably when they were like fucking hauling ass earlier. I was wondering what fell. You did this, child. Mr. Krabs, I have an idea. Start digging in your butt, twin. That's what they said! Don't tell me to shut up. You say it all the time. Ah! Come back! She closed the door. I hear her fucking booking it. Oh, she locked Lobster in here. Hold on. I gotta go get her. Okay. Have a good day, Sir Honk. I went to go harass her and she harassed me instead. She's gonna go take herself a bath, so when she finishes with her bath, we'll be ending. So I can spend a little time with her before she goes to work. Okay. Actually, honestly, I don't even need that, so I'm just gonna do an XY for the... I did not mean to click fucking curse forge. God damn it. Oh, crunchy. Y'all, chill out. Bless you. Welcome back, Sir Hawk. Hope you had a good night back. Oh. There we go. I was really confused and concerned for a second there. Don't think it needs to be at 30. 20 will be fine on this. Maybe even a little less. probably be able to finish the outfit before we end stream, and then I'll have to do the wings and the tail on tomorrow's stream. It's so close. I want to get them finished. So bouncy. Maybe I do want that to be a little higher. Yeah. Thank you. Oh,
Bina the Milking
hello.
just followed.
Thank you for the subscription, Bina. It's a subscription, the follow. Yeah. I wonder who this dragon may be. Is it perhaps a biblioteca? Oh no, my tits are broken. I don't think anybody has actually redeemed anything today. Hold on.
I underscore stole underscore the underscore Trifus just followed.
Thank you for the follow. I stole the Triforce. My tits are broken. You did redeem the Crab Rave. The Crab Rave is different from tits. It's the Twitch integrated throwing system, aka tits. My tits are broken. Borger. But no, this is what I mean. Oh, re-redeem the hydration. Yeah, the Burger King is through Mix It Up, but Tits is what throws stuff, and my Hydrate Redeem is supposed to throw stuff at me. That's how I knew that my tits were broken. Oh god. Is it time to beat the fox? I'm ready for my daily beatings. Oh god. Thank you for the gummies. Not the egg. I bit eggs. Oh wait, I could totally like eat it right now. Delicious. It makes me look like a cyclops. That is too much wiggle on that book. Ah, thank you. The gummies were for a snack. Thank you. I think I've rigged all of the clothing items now. Yeah. I somehow undid my... What are these called again? My deformed paths. That's okay. Perfect. Yeah. Look at his tail go. Little tail, little guy. All that's left is the wings. Okay. I think I'm gonna have to do the wings tomorrow though. So I've only got like an hour and a half I can spend with my girlfriend before I have to go to work. So we are going to... Who should we go to? Yeah, we haven't said hi to Smuggies in like forever. I'm never live the time that Smuggies is live. I miss Danny. So we're gonna go give Danny some love. Thanks to everyone who stopped by and hung out and stuck around after the Kira raid and everything too. Smuggies is playing Peak right now, so I hope you guys have a good time watching her play that. And have a good rest of y'all's day, good night, whatever it is, have you. And I will see y'all tomorrow with some more rigging and possibly art. We'll see how it goes tomorrow. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good rest of y'all's day. Goodbye.